Alright there, YouTubers and fellow airsofters. I got something new today. RETech has been privileged enough to send me out their new flute and valve design for the aluminum nozzle. They just came out with this and they asked me to give it a little test, so that's what we're going to be doing today. As you can see, these parts here are a little bit more spaced out and gapped, and they are a little bit longer, so we'll see if this makes any difference inside the nozzle. Also came with a new flute spring, and we're going to be throwing it inside this here aluminum nozzle and testing it. And basically what is a stock WE M4. There's nothing upgraded internally on this gun. The only thing it does have is the RETech steel barrel. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to test the FPS on this. I'll dial it up, dial it down, and see if it's still consistent. As most people know, the problems with these aluminum nozzles are the inconsistency of FPS. Around 400, in between 360, 400, 425. The FPS seems to be consistent on most of the nozzles. It's just that when you dial it down to a lower FPS, like 300 or so, that's when things start, jumping around and being inconsistent. Now, as most people know, I've been dealing with these nozzles for a while. Here's my one that I actually modded to fit the standard MPass for the plastic nozzle. This here works pretty well, but we're going to see how this works out here, and we'll give it a try. First thing we're going to do though is we're going to do like a control test. I'm actually going to put a couple BBs through the Chrono with the stock nozzle to see the FPS, if it how much it jumps around. This way we can have some kind of comparison. And with that said, just meet me over at the Chrono, then we'll come back, we'll put this baby here together, and we'll see what she does. Alright, we got 0.205 gram BBs propane. I'm sorry, 0.2 gram BBs in propane. Let's see what she's shooting here. Alright, so we had some T-outs over there at the Chrono, but we did get some good readings off of it. As you saw, it started off around high 300s, low 4s, near that. Then it dropped down to about, 350s, 360s. There was one or two BBs there that you saw the FPS drop big time with the stock nozzle. It dropped from about, I think it was shooting like 350, and then it went down to 307, 317. So that... obviously, as you can see, the stock setup isn't always perfect neither. As you can see here, I just want to show you that I am running the stock nozzle with the stock flute valve and all in there, the bulb. So that was the stock setup. But what we're going to do now is we're going to basically put this here aluminum nozzle together. It comes with 3 pieces, this kit. And what you're going to do is just drop the spring and all in like this. Make sure it's sitting inside. Valve, put it in here, screw it down, and then put it together. So this new design here, they're saying is supposed to work better. We're going to give it a shot, see how she does. I don't know what the FPS is going to be adjusted to when I first start off, so we're going to have to test it a little bit before we actually get it to where we want it. And everything seems to be moving fine in there, so I have to put the little screw back in, but for this test I'm just going to leave it out. This way if I do have to take it apart again, I won't have any problems. Excuse me. So what we're going to do is throw it here in this bolt here and give it a try and see how she does. Alright, so now that we have the bolt all back together here, seems to be running smooth and everything, so we're going to throw it in there and take it over to the Chrono, see what kind of FPS we get out of it, and we'll discuss it from there. Alright there YouTube, we got the nozzle in here, and basically what we're going to do now is put some rounds down through it and see where she's sitting at. We're going to be using 0.20 gram BBs once again, and propane, and let's see where she's at. I don't know where the FPS is sitting right now, so let's just put some rounds through here. Alright, let's try a full auto here, see what she does. T out. Seems to have a good rate of fire. And we're out. So, around that FPS, it seems like she did alright. Let me go back to the table over there, and I will turn the FPS down and see how she does there. FPS here, so most of us that own these nozzles before know that most of the problems start with the FPS jumping around on lower FPS levels. So what we do here is put the BBs in, excuse me, 0.20s, and let's see how she does on a lower FPS. And we're out. So let's take what we just did, go back to the table, and we'll see. Actually, you know what? Let me do it one more time. Let me turn it up higher and see how she works on a higher level here. And we'll do one more here. So, alright, so I dialed it up a little bit here, and let's see how she does now with the unpass turned up pretty good here. See what kind of FPS she's shooting. Alright, so it's obvious that she's staying pretty consistent. Now the FPS drops that you're seeing now, that's just from the gas and the mag starting to run out and everything. But she seems like she's staying pretty consistent. What we'll do now is we'll go back to the table here and give her final thoughts on this new design they have out here. And I'll let you know. Alright, so in conclusion here, basically what we saw is when it was shooting about 350, 360-ish, she did pretty well. The FPS was pretty much consistent. When the mag started to run out of gas, of course you're going to see FPS drops. When we were in the 200 range, 270s, things like that, we saw FPS jump here and there. I didn't see them drop too bad. I've seen it jump up to about 300 that one shot, and then stabilize around 270. But you know, like, that's to be expected, obviously, because the stock nozzle even jumped around also. In my opinion, I've been messing with these nozzles for a long time, and it seemed like, from my personal experience, that the new design performed pretty well. But like I said, this is only a chrono test thing going on here. The best way to determine it would be to take it out to a game, which I'm going to be doing here, and running it all day long and seeing how she does. This way you can actually see the BBs dropping, or you can feel the recoil difference in your shoulder with these nozzles. So basically, my conclusion on the new design, I feel that it works. Some people are going to say it probably looks the same, but it's not. Trust me, if you were to grab it. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the internals here to compare them to, because every nozzle I've actually taken out the internals and modded the nozzle to take the old style MPass. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't have any of those internals because that's how bad the nozzles used to be. This new design here seems to be pretty decent. I'm actually going to be installing it into my primary here, taking it out to a couple games, running it and seeing how it does, and I'll have to get back to you guys on it. But as far as the chrono test here, she did pretty well. I'm not gonna lie, it didn't jump around like it used to. Before, to my recollection, it used to jump from like 350 down to 220. That's how it used to be. Obviously it did a lot better this time, and we'll see how she goes. Just leave your thoughts in the comments, please. I'd like to know what you guys are thinking of it. Do you guys think that it is a fix, or do you guys think it's just something temporary that just ran good for now? I'd like to know what else you guys would think about it. Any ideas from you guys to make this product better? Leave it in the comments. I'm interested to know what you guys think, and if there's anything else you'd like to see from it, just let me know. Alright? Until next time, as always, stay true.